Hey, I'm Jill Riley from The Current's Morning Show. It's time for another virtual session from The Current, and I'm really excited for my guest today. Har Mar Superstar has a new album, and by the time this posts, the album will be out, and I just want to say congratulations on the new record, Roseville. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm chilling here. I am so excited about the new album, and I thank you for featuring it right now.
Yeah. So again, Roseville, the new record from Har Mar Superstar, and we're going to talk more about the record, what it's about, the making of the record, all that good stuff. But we want to get into some performance videos that you made for the current audience. And so I know that you've got a video featuring 3 of the new songs, and I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about this video that we're going to see.
Yeah. Basically, it's kind of like a milestone when I'm making an album nowadays, especially, and for the past many, to do a session at the Current studios. So it felt a little weird to not have that experience, to kind of mark the release of the record. So we wanted to go into our friend and bandmate Aaron Baum's studio, Mid-City Studio here in town, and do kind of at least, as close to capturing that kind of spirit as we could. So we all got COVID tests and played together in the room for the first time ever for these songs. So it was a lot of fun. Like, we've all been a little down, pandemic, kind of slow, and just life has been weird. And so it was really nice to get in the room and play these songs and actually, confirm that we can do it. We'd never tried. We made this whole album, at a distance. So it was just a really fun night. And, we really want to thank the Current for, giving us that opportunity and the reason to go do this. So.
Yeah, to get together. Well, let's check out, I know that there are 3 performances here. So Solid Ghost, Where We Began, and Sleight of Hand. So check them out, enjoy them, and then I'll come back with Har Mar Superstar, and we will catch up here on The Current with a virtual performance.
There was a time I felt less human and more like a solid ghost, chasing off the other spirits that I love most, dwelling on my sadness, becoming one with my shadow. Never tried to take my life, but I admit that I got close. And suddenly you came to me, all angel wings and light. And I thank my stars you done it, showed me someone wanted, made me go from haunted to electrified. Like an angel you find me. I cry, I scream, I plead, take me there. Hey, yeah. outside looking in, I see that your body's broken hearted. It's just dead weight for heightened states. Whoa, whoa, not quite departed. Now you're diagnosed a solid ghost, so you're free, come join the party. Everything you ever wanted, whoa, whoa, now you got it. You came to me with the bravery of someone twice your size. When you wait so long for someone, you pray so long for someone, you wait so long and suddenly your heart explodes. Yeah, you took me on a midnight ride. Destination was a place to hide, but somehow you got yourself inside my head instead. And I know that it's a mess in here, and my feelings all but disappear till they come back stronger than they were before. We're back to where we began. No place for such a fragile man. Try to be the one. Yeah, the cats come out to play while we're dwelling on yesterday. Nothing could tear me away from you. That's true. Oh, back to where we began. No place for such a fragile man. Girl, you make me feel like I'm your only plan. Oh, we're back to where we began. No place for such a fragile man. You make me feel like I'm your only plan. Oh, we're back to where we began. No place for such a fragile man. Come on. Oh, yeah. Waking up on your own. Oh, how could she leave you alone without even a note on the hotel stationery saying she's gone? It must be magic. Oh, how could you have it two ways and be blinded again? She's disappearing, everything you're fearing from the start. Now I'm sensing a trend. How could it be a surprise? Like they say, shame on me, fool me twice. It's just a trick of the eyes. Once you see it, now it's vanished from sight. How could it be a surprise? Like they say, shame on me, fool me twice. It's just a matter of time. Once you see it, now it's vanished from sight. Classic sleight of hand. Now your eyes deceive you again. Mystified every time
Well, hey, I'm Jill Riley from The Current. It's a virtual session with Har Mar Superstar celebrating the new record, which is called Roseville. Har Mar Superstar, boy, it's been a year. It's been a year, but you've been really productive. I mean, in a year that has felt like maybe 5 years in length, I know it has felt like life has stopped, I think, for a lot of people, but it is kind
Yeah.
of funny how life does actually continue in a strange way.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get creative and you got to fill the time somehow, I can't believe today is about 2 days short of my last live performance. I think Heartbones played in Atlanta, Georgia on March 12th, 2020, and then showed up in Birmingham on the 13th to cancel the show and then just go home.
Yeah.
We've been, Laura and I started coloring books for a cause, which was like a really nice distraction and also like helpful to so many people and us just for keeping our heads like above the depression of all of this. And from there, I kind of, I needed to occupy my time. So I became a mailman. I'm a mail carrier now. Made an album in the middle of all of that, which I didn't really expect to happen. And for like 7 months, I couldn't even imagine writing a song. I adopted this little friend, Figgy here. And so, I think all those experiences, kind of led to the making of this album. And I'm really proud of what we pulled off. Honestly, like, I feel like I've learned so much about just recording myself and kind of producing a project like this that I didn't think was possible. And we kind of blew ourselves away with like the production that we got with Roseville. So
Yeah, well, I'm really glad that you kind of refreshed us about kind of your year in review. Because what's funny is I I kind of did it too. I made this little list. I was trying to think like, wow, in the last year, I mean, just thinking about some of the things that I talked to you about in the last year when we would kind of check in, starting with that big coloring book project. And then, you getting a job as a mail carrier in Minneapolis. And then, again, Figgy. Oh, by the way, happy belated birthday to Figgy. I know that you posted on Twitter that, how old is Figgy now?
He's 4 now. He's a little 4-year-old.
He is so
It's always
sweet.
it's like it looks like I just have him in my pocket or something. Like, hey, what's up? Here comes Figgy.
Put him back in his little bag. And somewhere though in the year, you got inspired to make this record, Roseville. So when did it start? I mean, when were you like, okay, I'm ready to make a record. I'm feeling creative. I've started writing some songs. Like, how did it all start?
Well, I had a couple songs in my pocket. Where We Began and Hearts Have Misspoken were already basically recorded. Jake Baldwin and I kind of co-wrote Where We Began when I was on tour. We were all on tour with the Afghan Wigs in 2017. We had a day off, so we stopped at Sonic Ranch in Tornillo, Texas, and wrote a bunch of songs, which the rest weirdly didn't make it. I didn't even think about that until maybe just now. But we have this song just stuck with us, and we started playing it live on that tour. So people might have heard Where We Began for the last few years. But and then John Fields and I wrote Hearts Have Misspoken in his studio long before the pandemic. And I knew there would be a Har Mar album, but I just didn't know when I would feel inspired to make the rest. And for me, it's classically like I will, just all of a sudden, kind of one day, once I have like the third or fourth song, it's just game on, and then it's just the album's written in the next few weeks. So that's what happened in kind of September, October area. I just was ready, and I felt like I found kind of the niche in my brain where I can write songs that are from a character's perspective that aren't necessarily from like a straight white male point of view, which I was really afraid of. That was kind of like my biggest fear when like thinking about writing. I was like, I don't feel like my viewpoints are just like necessary right now, and not like to woe is me or anything. It's just there was more focus on more important things and equality and all of that. And so I kind of found a way to in my brain make more of a universal connection, I think. And so that's just kind of how it went. And then I went in, I would record, piano or guitar parts with my vocal ideas and send them over to Aaron and Ryan Mock, who produced the album with me, my bandmates, Aaron Baum and Ryan Mock. And they would kind of produce out the tracks. And once COVID testing was more easily available and free in town, that kind of freed me up to get a test, quarantine for the night, make sure I was negative, and go in with Aaron and seal up things track-wise while we emailed all of those tracks to the rest of the band who would record their things on their own time. It just kind of worked on everybody's time. And I think we made an album that I never would have imagined being able to make otherwise without the pandemic. So there's some sort of like positive kind of, silver lining, but, the original idea for making the new album was to all be in a room together and to all write it together. So I tried to keep that alive by co-writing with separate band members one-on-one, after we'd get tested. And Nelson Devereaux and I wrote Sleight of Hand together and Hit and Run, and Aaron Baum wrote the tracks for Hello, Mr. Sandman and Neon Aglow. And I wrote to those, and everybody kind of had their moments on the album. So that was, it was a really interesting process.
So I wonder, well, it sounds like there's a lot of collaboration on the making of this new record. I think the fact that it's called Roseville, Roseville being the home to, the old Har Mar Mall, which you've taken your stage name, Har Mar Superstar, from, the Har Mar Mall. Yeah. And I wonder, was there something about the pandemic that sort of pushed you to be reflective or to have something kind of come around full circle? Does that make sense?
I think, yeah, definitely. Okay. I think you're right with that. It was kind of like my friend Jesse Willenbring heard the album and coined the term existential homecoming, which I thought was exactly a perfect kind of way to describe the album. And there was just a lot of connectors. I think like the fact that I came home 5 years ago. This is the first Har Mar album I've written since I've been home. And I had some difficult times. I've had some really great times. I stopped drinking 2 years ago. I've done all this stuff. I kind of feel like I've grown a lot, and kind of, fell in love and have this whole new chapter of life. And, I came from a real place of really low depression to a place where I feel like I can help other people now. And as much as Roseville is kind of like a wink at the Har Mar thing, but also I was talking to my friend Melinda Lee Holm, who she released a new deck of tarot cards, and she's an old friend of mine from high school days back at Perpich. And she was really proud of the distribution of this amazing tarot deck that she made, and it was being distributed to the Har Mar Mall at Barnes and Noble. But I think that the way it was listed on the sheet that she got, telling her where everything was going, was that it just said Roseville 2, like with the number 2. And I thought that was a really funny album title. I was like, I should just call my record Roseville 2. And then I was going with that for a long time. Then I imagined like answering the same question about where's Roseville 1 a million times. And I was like, okay, you know what? Actually, Roseville is just a great album title. It feels like, to me, kind of like this mythical, happy place, like Mayberry, but from the future, that you can make anything you want. And in the middle of the pandemic, it just seemed like I wanted to imagine this other world that was kind of nearby, that was not real, but also kind of was. So if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. Roseville is kind of more of a state of mind, and it's kind of really close by. And, most of my cinematic memories of like my early 20s were going to the Har Mar Mall to see movies, and that's why a lot of the photo shoots are in movie theaters at the Riverview, and I really miss that theater. I miss like, just a lot of elements of the mall, like the Cub Scout store where you could just go buy random patches and things like that, or just weird stuff. But I still, still kind of like try to peruse around sometimes when I'm kind of just not doing anything, or I'm just going to take a bike ride. I'll go out there. But I think, Roseville just kind of summed up everything. And it seems like, I don't know, there's something very Mayberry about it too, that I like, just the word,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the Roseville Chamber of Commerce needs to get a hold of you now about that line that you just said, Roseville, it's a state of mind.
They also need to come back and we can like recreate whatever like Roseville team jerseys they might have had at some point, or like, there's got to be some great 70s t-shirts from Roseville, Minnesota. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to get those designs and have them be, officially licensed or whatever, just like, bequeathed to me if they could. That'd be great.
Hey, speaking of t-shirt designs, hold on. I had to wear this t-shirt today.
Yes. Taco John's. Definitely unlicensed, but
Okay,
I think they support me, and
but they've
been out there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, well, should I wear this t-shirt today? Is it like wearing the t-shirt to the concert? Is that an okay thing to do? But I'm like, come on, I'm talking to Har Mar today.
Yeah, I think post-pandemic that rule is done. I think you can show your excitement, and you can go to the show in the band's t-shirt. I think that should be allowed,
You can do whatever you want in the post-pandemic. How excited are people going to be? I mean, have you been thinking a lot about that? I mean, we talked about, you kind of mentioned like it's kind of strange to not come into the studio to, mark the occasion here at the Current, but you were able to get into the studio and make, some of your own videos. But how strange is it to release a record and not tour it right away?
It's really strange. It was kind of freeing, honestly, from making the record. It was like, I didn't have to think about how something would translate to a live show, which is the first time I've probably ever done that. And somehow that kind of like circled back to making songs really kind of easy to present that way. So I don't know how or why that worked, but that was kind of a cool thing. But I don't want to get too excited about live shows again. So I'm just kind of like in my mind imagining that I won't even do a 5 or 10 day tour jaunt till at least a year from now, but local shows are a different story. Hopefully once everybody's had the opportunity to get the vaccine safely and free, and, everybody's like, had the chance to kind of, accept the vaccine into their bodies, we can start to think about that. But I think I think right now it's just sort of like not getting my hopes up too much, but that was really kind of affirming to go in the studio to do these sessions, to know that we can play these songs and to re-feel how fun that is. So now I'm working on a variety show. Obviously I'm never not working on something kind of insane. So now I'm working on, instead of a live stream, I want to do a variety show for Roseville. That'll be like kind of like a tour around the Twin Cities, different venues, different, dance routines, some live performance, some fake commercials, some, whatever it's going to be, some comedy, just like an hour-long special that everyone can watch together. But that's going to be probably not released till May or June, which will coincide with when the physical records are being shipped out, and the CDs and all the shirts and everything, the merch that you can pre-order now, but won't be available till May. So I'm kind of hoping for like a second wave of promotion then. And it's kind of interesting now. Like this whole pandemic has led to, major pop acts aren't releasing their albums. And so, last week the Hold Steady had a number 6, a top 10 Billboard album, which is awesome, and I was inspired to finish this album by seeing like chart positions of the Mountain Goats and stuff. And I've never charted and I've never been driven by that, but it's kind of like an insane little stop down in record making history where it's kind of like there's a chance to be on the charts. So by the time this is out, we'll know. I won't know. I don't know right now because we're recording this a week before it comes out. But I think that this album already from the pre-sales has a chance to even be in the top 200, which is crazy to me, and also really cool and kind of niche. And I think it's cool that like Mogwai had a #1 album in the UK and it was number 9 in the US, which is nuts. And
that's weird to think. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, and the whole and the whole steady's number 6, and both of those albums are independently released. And I'm putting out my album on my own, which was also another freedom I had to not be locked into a record contract right now. So I could just sort of put it out and do it however I want. Like March 5th is the release date for digital songs, but I can just have the records be on pre-order, and there's going to be a special edition for indie record stores that's clear pink and opaque red vinyl that comes out May 21st. And there's just so many different, you can just, you're not beholden to like any classic kind of weird record promotion schedule. So it's fun to just play with that, and
yeah, maybe 2021 will be the resurgence of the true indie record. I mean, the indie way of doing things.
It's cool. I mean, it's just a nice little break for us to like have a chance to kind of be heard and seen and celebrated a little bit,
Yeah. Well, the new record, Har Mar Superstar, Roseville, by the time this is published at thecurrent.org, or maybe you're watching it on YouTube, or maybe you're hearing it on the radio, it is out. And again, Sean, I appreciate you checking in. Always nice to catch up with you. And I miss the days of running into you just around town.
I know. It's great to see your face, Jill. And it'll happen again. It'll be soon. I think just everybody's got to still be safe and not lay down before the finish line yet, because we've got a little ways to go. But I feel very hopeful about gathering and just safely. Enjoying people in person at some point.
I think just the fact that it's March and it's starting to warm up and the sun feels really warm and I'm getting inspired to at least go outside, that light at the end of the tunnel, it's getting closer. But I totally agree with you. Like, we're not there yet. So we just got to wait a little bit longer, and I know that's a tall order. Yeah.
Yeah. The spring's going to be good though. I think being able to be outside is going to be, especially here in Minnesota, it's a huge game changer. And the fact that we got through this winter is huge, because I was really worried about that. And in November when it was kind of impending. So,
and here we are. And again, time passes in a strange way. Like, it feels like it's standing still, but yet it's still moving forward.
There's going to be people with like full grown children that I've never even met or heard of by the time we get out of here. Like, I don't know. That's weird.
Where did that guy come from?
Who's he? This is Bruce. Who's Bruce? Oh, he's your son.
This is my child, actually. Well, thank you to engineers today, Eric Stromstead and Adam Clark, and producer Jesse Wiza. And thanks to Sean Tillman, and we know him best as Har Mar Superstar. And looking forward to seeing you when people gather to see each other. Or who knows, maybe we'll check in via video or radio again soon.
Yes. I also wanted to say thanks to Isaac Gale for filming the sessions at Mid-City, and Brock Lamers for engineering those sessions too.
Yeah, I will say thank you as well, because, for a while we were trying to do virtual sessions where people were like trying to play an acoustic guitar on Zoom, and we did our best, but we knew that there was a better way. So the artists have been really game to make sure that they're putting some quality stuff on these videos. So, all right, well, you take care, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Congrats on the new record. Too. It is called Roseville, and by this published date, it is out now.
Yes, thank you. Enjoy it, stream it, buy it. Love you.